Um, Hope everyone had a good New Year's. Yeah. I spent mine getting high.
Yeah!
And watching the Netflix movie Bandersnatch. It's a choose your own adventure film if you haven't seen it. It ended for me in about 10 minutes, which proves something that I've long suspected, that I make lots of shitty decisions. Maybe including telling that joke. I am single, yay. Which means I'm on all the dating apps like Bumble. I was recently on a Bumble date. And I'm gonna tell you things got weird. Crazy weird. She actually showed up. Before the date was over, she said, "Robert, there's not gonna be a second date. You have way too many issues." I was like, "You're right, I do. I have almost every issue of X-Men, Batman, Spider-Man, and 3 issues of Richie Rich, which is probably 2 issues too many." I'm not the only one who's unlucky in love. As I was driving to work this morning, I saw someone tied a banner to an overpass that read, "My wife Janine is constantly cheating on me." I got really upset as I read that, because he forgot to put her phone number on there. Yeah, Janine sounds like my kind of woman. Easy. All right. Let's see a little bit more about me. I am petrified of needles, which is why I probably never became a heroin addict. Because it'd be really embarrassing to have someone shoot me up as my mom holds my hand going, "It'll be okay. It'll only hurt a second. And when you regain consciousness, we'll go get some ice cream. Yay!" Oh man, I was talking to a female comedian a couple weeks ago, and she's like, "Man, I wish I started doing this years earlier. I'm 25, and if I started doing this when I was 19, I'd be a superstar by now. I can't imagine starting comedy any later in life." And I'm like, "Hold your horses, honey. I didn't start doing comedy until my 40s. And she's like, "That sucks. I was gonna sleep with you." I was like, "You're right, that does suck. That I'm now suing you for age discrimination." Oh man, I am an avid reader. I've actually memorized my favorite book of all time, the Judy Blume classic, "Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret." And now I'm going to recite it to you in its entirety. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Good. Chapter 1. "Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret." Followed by 225 pages of silence. For those of you who aren't laughing, that's my atheist joke. I am not an atheist. I grew up Jewish, or more accurately, I grew up in what you would call a non-traditional Jewish household. That's because my dad was bad with money. Yeah, I really, really hated growing up Jewish. I had to wear a yarmulke all the time. First time I took it off, I discovered this. That was a big yarmulke. We also kept kosher, which meant I never had bacon until I went to college. How can we be called the chosen people if we weren't chosen to eat bacon? However, the worst part about growing up Jewish was that every Friday night and Saturday morning, my mom would drag me away from the TV and force me to go to synagogue. There I would hear the rabbi go, "Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam," which, if I remember my Hebrew correctly, loosely translates into, "For the next several hours, you'll hear me repeatedly say, please rise, please sit. Please rise, please sit. Please rise, please sit." I don't know if my mom took me there to try to make me a better Jew, or she hoped that by doing all those God squats, my chunky butt would become a whole lot less chunky. Spoiler alert, neither one worked. Let's see. Over the holidays, my nephew announced to the family that he was joining the Army. His reasoning was that he kicks ass at Call of Duty, and he pretty much completes every mission on the first try. I'm going to admit that I've never been more proud that I am no longer the dumbest member of my family. However, they do consider me a massive screw-up. Yeah, the biggest thing I've ever screwed up doing was when I tried killing myself when I was 16. Yeah, it's about to get dark. Let me pick. You're welcome. I'm very polite. Yeah. So let me paint the picture for you. I stood on the table in the center of my bedroom, tied the rope to a light fixture attached to the ceiling, placed the noose around my neck, and I jumped. Instead of meeting my maker, I met the floor head first, bringing down the light fixture and part of the ceiling. My mom definitely heard the loud crash because she ran upstairs, barged into my room, and had this look of concern on her face as she stared at me and the damage that I inflicted upon the house. After several long seconds, she yelled, "Robert, if you never quit Boy Scouts, you would have gotten your rope time merit badge." And would have been able to finish what you started. Now get your ass up off the floor and help me clean up your mess. I'm just kidding. My mom never offered to help. She's a peach. And even worse, she is the typical Jewish mother. 4 days after I tried killing myself, she gave me a bill to pay her back for fixing my ceiling and the fan at a 49.6 interest rate compounded daily. All right. Oh, let's see what else has been going on. I made a sex tape. Yeah. I was watching it backwards the other day just to hear what my partner's dirty talk sounded like in reverse. But instead of hearing that, I heard this. "All hail Lord Satan. In exchange for power and immortality, I will use my body as a vessel and transfer this unsuspecting fool's soul from me to you, thus binding him as your slave for all eternity." I thought that was strange, especially since I already sold my soul to Satan 2 weeks earlier, just to sleep with her. Awkward. Oh man, I'm gonna end on this one. I am not suave, if you can imagine. Yeah, actually, whenever I approach someone I like, I get possessed by a horrible demon. 13-year-old Robert. So when I go up to someone, instead of hearing, "Hey, can I buy you a drink?" 13-year-old Robert hijacks my body and they hear, "Cyclops was the most underrated member of the X-Men." I have 21 20-sided dies in my collection. And when I grow up, I'm going to be a professional dungeon master. If you can imagine, words like that don't make panties drop.
I don't think so, too.
Thank you. So I decided to do something about that problem. I went and consulted a Catholic priest to see if they would perform an exorcism on me and get rid of 13-year-old Robert. But the priest broke my heart by saying, "I'm sorry, we do not perform exorcisms on Jews. However, I would love to meet 13-year-old Robert." I think I have to point out to you that joke was a thinly veiled social commentary on a very serious topic involving Catholic priests, that they discriminate against Jews when it comes to performing exorcisms. My name is Robert Schneider. Thank you.
Keep it going for Robert Schneider. Very funny, very funny. All right, next up, we've got one of our local comedians here.